my name is Fela Durotoye. I founded a company called House of Tara about 26 years ago. I started as a bridal makeup artist. I was the first commercial bridal makeup artist, somebody who started charging for makeup artistry. I've grown that business from, going from house to house doing people's makeup when getting married, to starting a retail chain of stores. So we have House of Tara stores across the country: Kaduna, Kano, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Sabah, Warri, Benin, Lagos, Owo, Surulere, Ikeja, Ekiti, Ibadan, and the likes in Enugu. And having a retail store meant that we can distribute products across in the beauty space. So I think it was in 2015, L'Oreal came to Nigeria, wanted to distribute Maybelline, asked us to come and help to distribute Maybelline across Nigeria. We have our own product line, that's a Tara makeup brand. It's also the first local makeup line. First local makeup line. That was a good place for you guys to clap. You had the chance. One of the whys is that we're a brand that believes that we want to empower people. And so one of the things that we did was to create a makeup school to train people who become makeup artists. And we have 19 centers across the country today. They are training for Lagos State. Thank you. Who feel that this industry is an industry that people can convert easily into becoming independent and growing their businesses. And so we train for state governments as well to get them to become makeup artists as well. So if you're a woman, use Tara products. If you don't have Tara products, next time I see you, I will not do my presentation. And if you're a man, we also have our skincare line that's just been launched. So we're catering to very, very happy to be here. I've been speaking to entrepreneurs, small entrepreneurs for a very long time. And it's part of my joy, it's part of my purpose, it's part of my why. And so it doesn't matter the number, the volume or whatever. One thing I know for sure is that if I come and speak, there can be one person whose life is transformed, business is transformed, concept, ideas, clarity is given. That is worth it for me. And I'm hoping that in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, I bump into someone and say to me, I was at that boot camp. And this is what you taught. I learned it, I applied it, and that will make my day. So thank you for being here. I'm a mom of 3 boys. My oldest is 20, my second is 18, and my last is 17. I'm married to Fela Durotoye, a consultant, an executive coach. So they asked me to come and speak on 5 recipes for success. I'm going to use my story, try and give you some rhythm so that you don't forget, so that if I see you at the airport, you say 5 hours, right? And then I remember where I met you. And the 5 hours: 1 is result, 2 is reason, 3 is requirement, 4 is routines, 5 is resilience. Result, reason, requirement, routine, and resilience. There is a famous author, consultant called Stephen Covey. He wrote the book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And then there are many things that come out as a result of that. One of the things he said was, start with the end in mind. Start with the end in mind. And so when you ask me about my recipes, one of the things is that I have been result-oriented. And to result-oriented means that you have to start with the end in mind, which means, what does success look like? When I arrive at the door called success, would I know what it looks like? And I think a lot of times young entrepreneurs now will find it difficult to create your own vision because there's so much information out there that there's confusion. And I was saying to my friend earlier on today that I have days where I don't carry my phone. So today's one of those days. I leave it because I want to be able to think without intrusion. And I would advise everyone who's young today, in my time, I didn't have that distraction. So I come up with things, but not so many options. Sometimes it's in that quiet place that you can find your results, right? And so what is result? It's not really about outcome, it's outcome. Result is outcome. Result is, what is the picture of the future? Result is, what does success look like? Result is, what are my goals? Result is, what are my targets? Result is, what is my vision? What do I see? So Stephen Covey is saying, start with the end in mind. He's saying, start with a target. Start with a goal. Start with an outcome. Start with a picture of success. Start with a vision. That is what result is. So as you think about your business, or as you've already started your business, ask yourself, what does success look like? Wake up very early, when it's very quiet, no one is awake, don't touch your phone, and say, what does success look like for me? And that's also unique because we're also different. For some people, it will be material, it will be something that has to do with the economics, it will be about money. But for other people, it may be impact. And so, yes, I want to make money, but if lives are not being changed, I'm not inspired by it. That is what inspires me, but that doesn't mean that's what inspires you. So you have to know for yourself what the outcome looks like. The next one is reason. Reason. Your reason is really, what is your why? Why do you need it? I was here last week for 83 resource launch of this office and 5 days anniversary. And one of the things the CEO said at the time was, there's so many PR companies that are around, but we found that many PR companies exist, but not many of them can deliver what they've been asked to deliver on time. So the thing was about timeliness. What she basically saying was, I'm bringing my uniqueness to this business. Yeah, there are many people who are brilliant PR people, and there are so many of them. But this is what is the gap that exists. So the question is, what is their why? Their why is we came into business so that we can solve this problem. And every time we forget, we remind ourselves why. So you have to have a reason why you're in business. So yes, it's important to know what your outcomes are, you want to know what your result is, but it's also important to have your reason. People are not interested in buying your products. They're more interested in buying the why you're in business. That is what motivates, inspires them to take action. So it's about your why. So, first of all, think about your result, think about your reason. There's a famous book that I read a long time ago by Simon Sinek, and the book is called Why We Do What We Do, or why we do what we do, and why we do what we do. And one of the things that the book highlights is really about purpose, essence. So when you think about reason, you think about purpose, you think about essence. Life cannot truly be meaningful if you don't know what purpose is. Whether it's your own personal purpose or the purpose of your business. And for someone who's done my business for many years, I have found that when people know your why, it's easier for you to attract employees, good quality people. If there is confusion about why, it's fuzzy, then the caliber of people who require clarity to be able to give their self are not going to do so. So as you start off your business at an early stage, learn to be able to communicate your why in a way that is so eloquent, articulate, and able to attract people. Not everybody will stay, but many people will stay simply because they understand your why. Okay? My third is requirements. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, who is the man that wants to build a house without counting the cost? Who's the man that wants to build a house without counting the cost? Requirement means, what will it take for me to do this? I am a makeup artist. I want to sell clients. I need to have the skill. I need to have the makeup box. I need to have the products. I need to have the clientele. I need to have my skill to be certain way. I need to have an assistant. What are the things that I need? By knowing what you need, knowing what you require, then you know, do I need capital? Is it human resource? Is it goodwill? Because listen, you can have capital, you can have human beings, but if you don't have goodwill, and goodwill is a part of branding as well, right? There are times where it's not about the money, sometimes it's not even about the skill. It's just how people feel about you that determines whether they give you the project or not. So you have to ask yourself, I know my why, but what this why that I want to create, this why that I want to bring out, what is required for me to establish it? That's requirement. And third and fourthly, routines. Routines. So result, reason, requirements, and result, reason, requirements, and routines. So routines is really a sequence of actions that are done regularly, right? When you now know what you need, what resources you need to be able to establish your business, then ask yourself, okay, I need an assistant. Let's say, for example, I am producing water. And producing water, this is what is required. I need to know the people who do water bottles. I need to know where to get the water from. I need to know where to get the stickers. For me to deliver on this bottle, there are a set of things that I must do regularly to deliver on this bottle. Sometimes they call them systems. Sometimes they call them processes, right? You need to be able to identify what those system processes are that you have to do consistently to deliver on this bottle of water. If you don't know, then you cannot deliver on the same outcome consistently. So when you're doing this bottle, what the outcome is a bottle of water, isn't it? But you have different angles. You have the water itself, you have the bottle itself, you have the caps, and all of that. But if for any reason, I give another example, I wanted to wear a pair of trousers. No. I got delivered 2 pairs of trousers from a tailor. When I received them, I thought to myself, this girl did not use quality fabric, so I will not wear it. So I dropped it. But yesterday, I was going to my warehouse. At the beginning of the year, I usually go to the warehouse to go and see the clerks there, see the young people who have been working there for many years, and the ones who carry the product, put inside the trucks and all of that. You know, so sometimes they get forgotten because their work does not seem to be important. So I decided I was going to spend the day with them. I left my house very early in the morning to go. But I said to myself, okay, if I'm going to the warehouse, then I don't need to dress fancy. Let me just bring one of those bag trousers, okay, and wear. So I brought out the trousers and put it on. As I put it on, my husband said, I need to help to iron this trouser. I said, well, he said, no. He said, I can't let you go out without ironing these trousers. Now, the trousers were ironed, but he was basically saying, there's something off. So he took the trousers and ironed it. After ironing it, you know, I said there are 2. After ironing it, I wore it. I got engaged, I got this fabric. I said, this girl's fabric is very good. Simply because of the pressing of the trousers. Tomorrow I'm speaking somewhere, I decided that today we should go and bring the second one out. I should press it so I can wear it. But the problem is, when the girl made that trouser, there was something that was off with the process. They didn't press it. They ironed it, but they didn't press it. Which means that all those gators. So when you go to a tailor's place, they always have this, I don't know about now, but before they used to have this cold iron. That's what they used to press. So they make sure that by the time everything is smooth, you just yes. Now that was missing. Now I want to have a conversation with her and I'll say to her, it seems like something in your process was missing. So the routine will be, we sew, we do this, we put the buttons, we do this, and we press. But because the pressing was missed, which is a routine, the outcome was not the same. And here it was, she's been making clothes for me for a long time. I've trusted her judgment for all this while. And for some reason this happened. And then I forgot that she's actually quite a specialist with good fabric. And I threw her fabric by the corner. Only by coincidence. So when the process is breached, when the routines are broken, the outcomes cannot be the same. And routines can be, for example, if you are starting a business, you want to speak, you have to speak to your customers. All the time you have to engage your customers. Your customers hear your voice. Your customers are happy with you. But like I said, you have to be able to tell your story. You have to be able to share in a way that's articulate for people to be able to understand whether it's new people that are coming to work for you or the customers that you are engaging with. But if your routine is not consistent to deliver on that outcome, soon enough the customers are not interested because you're just not delivering on the same. So we open gala, and some days there's sausage inside. Some other days there's no sausage. After a while, what happens? You stop buying gala. So routine. So it's really a sequence of actions regularly followed. Habits are formed from routines. I'm reading a book called Atomic. Isn't that a brilliant book? It's a bit texty, but I think it's very, very open to your mind. One of the things that we're teaching in the book is about repetition. What's the name? Repetition, Atomic Habits. Brilliant book, right? James Clear. I think that one of the things that I wish that we understood the power of routines. So when I was in boarding school, we had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. Rising up, when you wake up in the morning, they tell you must lay your bed. You rush to the bathroom with your bucket. You take your bath, you rush back, you do your chores, you wear your uniform, you rush to the dining table. I still remember. But what happens is repetition brings about retention. Repetition. So because repetition will enhance retention is the reason why after 20 years or whatever number of years that I was in secondary school, I still remember the routines. Repetition enhances retention. So as long as it's the reward for stickability. When you do it over and over again, it sticks. So at House of Tara, because we have retail stores, we're interacting with customers every day. Thousands of customers across the country. It means that if a House of Tara customer leaves Lagos, when they go to Abuja, and they want it has to be the same. So there are certain things that are routines. How we greet in a House of Tara store is standing, walking, and sometimes customers have complained before. They say, I went to House of Tara and they did not greet me the way they normally already greet. And I said to people, yes, I'm upset that they didn't, but at the same time, it means that my customers now know our standard. And now they are insisting that the employees must give them that standard.
Come on.
So, with your routines, what you have to design is to say, what does it take to deliver on the tablecloth? Or what's the requirement for delivering on this decoration, for example? Every time we leave, we have certain things, protocols that we must follow. This and this and this and this. Those routines are created. You insist on following it no matter what. The more you do it, the more stickability. So for example, in House of Tara, we don't greet good morning. We greet welcome to House of Tara. The reason why is because we want it to stick, because you are more used to it. We don't want a situation where you forget. So even if a House of Tara staff sees me now in a House of Tara store, they will say, welcome to House of Tara. They actually want to say, they should be saying good morning because they are saying it for the first time. But no, we insisted so that it forces the stickability, it forces the retention because it's repeated over and over again. How do we dress? This is how a House of Tara staff who works on the shop floor dresses. When a customer walks in, this is what we say to the customer. When we serve a customer, this is what we do for the customer. Every time you set up your workstation, this and this and this must be there. I can come to somebody's workstation and look and say to you, tell me what is not there. And if they stand and look, they will find what is not there. Why? Because we've trained it, but it has now become a routine to the extent that I can tell what is missing. You should be able to tell what is missing. The reason why many businesses don't last long is because that power of the routine is not being upheld. And sometimes as business people will feel bad when we insist that people must stick with the rules. We feel bad. We're like, oh, I don't want people to think I am too pushy. Unfortunately, if you're not pushy, your business will end in another 3 years.
Thank you. Tell them.
So you have to insist. It's also about standards, right? Apart from your business processes, you as the owner of the business will have to be in the right state of mind. And I know that seasons have changed. When I started my business, we never talked about mental health. It wasn't a thing. We were bold. We were brutal. We just kept going. But today there's so much around that's happening that makes situations, creates instability and what have you. So you as a business owner have to ask yourself, what are the routines I'm going to put in check to make sure my mental health is in place? Because as you grow your business, you see many of the young entrepreneurs who commit suicide, have mental breakdown, right? The pressure is too much. Why? Because their capacity to handle the issues is weak. And so every single person needs to find what makes them strong from the inside. Everyone, you need to find what is. Some people they say is yoga. Some people say it's meditation, right? Some people say it's physical exercise, but you have to find what is yours. And be consistent about it to deliver on it so that you are strengthened internally. For me, they're my spiritual routines. At the beginning of the year, I go on a retreat. I don't carry my phone 5 days by myself. Enter inside, go to Abeokuta, take a hotel room, stay inside that hotel. I will not speak to anybody for the 5 days. And in the 5 days, when I come back, I'm like somebody, I'll be floating. So you have to find yours. And I found that this is what, it might be such a routine. Like this time when I went, one of the guest relations ladies said to me, man, every year you come here, you don't even come outside. So that means that it has now become a routine today. It says that she acknowledges it. But you have to find what yours is. It may not be that. It may be taking time off. It may be reading, spending time to just read many books. I know that Bill Gates, that's his thing. Just reading my own. I have to pray. I have to sing. I have to dance. I have to pray again, read again, dance. That is for me, without speaking to anybody. Just me and my God. When I come back, I have clarity. I remind myself why. Because sometimes you are confused about why, because of the too much voices that you're hearing. But in that silence, you can rearrange your brain. When I step back, step out as a mother, step out as a wife, step back as a business owner, I'm able to share from the abundance that I have, not from the lack that I don't have. So you must find what routines work for you. Every single day, whether it's exercise. There's some people who, Kate Henshaw, you wake up in the morning and you see her. That thing that she's doing, she's using it to keep herself sane. Because it's not normal. For you to wake up every morning with that energy. No, she refuses to allow any. Whether I get a pleasant job, it doesn't matter, but this thing, I must do it. And so, but I know what exercise does for me. It makes my mind alert, makes my skin nice. So sometimes the vanity of it, right? To say, I need to go and bring out some sweat so that my skin can be glowing. Okay? For somebody else, it's the vanity. For somebody else, it's the energy it gives them. But it's the thing that keeps them sane. It's also food. I took out meat. I don't eat meat. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat turkey. I don't eat gari. The reason why I don't eat all those things is because I know what they were doing to my body. So I can do so much and achieve much because of what I put on the inside of me. So you have to ask yourself, if I try to eat meat, if I try to eat sugar, my son came back from school 2 weeks ago, had a breakout on his face, pimples, and I was like, why do you have so many pimples on your face? Oh, I don't. I said, you know what? While you're in this house, don't eat any sugar, don't eat any milk. In 3 days, his face cleared. That's it. He now confessed. And in school, they bring out powder milk, put sugar inside, and be eating it like snack. That's why his face had all that breakout on his face. This is what food does. Now he knows. And he's happy with the way his face has cleared because he was getting embarrassed by it. Right? Tomorrow, he will design a self-care routine that ensures that he eats properly. So my charge to every one of you is you have to know what your routines are. Okay? And no matter after you have done, you know your requirements, your why, your reason, your routines, some things will happen that will shake you. Staff will steal your money. They will steal your money. They will take a job. Do it. Give the money. They will counterfeit your product. They will get in China. They will bring it to Nigeria. They will sell it in Balogun, sell it in church fair, sell it in the nature market. If you go to the nature market, go and fight, they will threaten you. If you come to this market here, you shoot your leg. Do you hear about this product? Do you hear about this product? This is what we did to them. So don't be making noise. Just go. It's not your product. If your name is written on it, but it's not your product. Is it you that bought it? Is it you that brought it to Nigeria? If you don't use it, it's not your product. They go your house. Government wake up today say, okay, you know as it is now, we will give you dollars at this rate because we're inspired by it. You are a good business, tomorrow somebody just come and say, I move to the back. We have decided we are not giving you dollars again. But wherever you want to find the dollars, go and find it. Those ones then, in 25 years, I've gone through up, down, up, down, up, down. But resilience says, how fast can I bounce back after I have been hit? That's resilience. How fast am I able to bounce back? How fast am I able to come back? Resilience is about being resolute. Is when you say, shan't grip. And every time I see an entrepreneur who has done business for 10 years, I don't call them by name again. You are now sister, brother, my brother, my uncle. Yeah, when you are now 20 years, I kneel down now. Auntie, grandma, me. Because it is tough. It is tough. And so the question for me is, how many recessions have I been through? How many times have I had to redesign and re-strategize? Now there are times where I just put on my mask. Because I was like, you know what, at this stage I just need to save myself first, if I can save anybody. And the other days where I did not wear my mask, I said, who is there to be saved? Let's save them now. But let me let you know, welcome to the club of those fighters. The fighters are the ones who, they understand what is required, they know their why, they know the reason why they're in business, they designed their routines, but when they get there, they see the unthinkable. But what happens? They say, yeah, come, let's go. They fight back, they step back, and they have something else to offer the customers, and they continue to do their business. So welcome to that. So in closing, you will have your failures, you will have your hardships, but the difference between those that do well and those that do very well are those that stick with it. And we see that stickability capacity in them. Thank you very much.